And now, a WBRC Fox 6 weather first alert.
Hey there, Chief Meteorologist Wes Wyatt. A new tornado warning that has now been issued, and this does include Hale County. Right now we're tracking a possible tornado near New Bern. This is going to be south of Greensboro. This is the storm here. One we've been watching, it's been moving out of Marion County. Right now the way this is tracking to the northeast, that's going to bring this very close to Greensboro. So if you're watching us in Greensboro, areas to the south towards Fonsdale, down Highway 69, that's actually Highway 25 there towards Laneville, the Sunshine community, want you getting into that safe place right now. This is an active tornado warning that has been issued. This does also include parts of Perry County, so places like Kerbville and Brush Creek. See that track there to the north as Jill brings that in here. This is another storm. It's quite a ways from the radar site here, but we've seen a lot of broad rotation with a lot of these storms throughout the evening that have been moving into the southern part of the area, and it looks like most of that active weather so far, the tornado warnings are more numerous in areas to the far southwest where it is a bit more unstable. Keeping a watch right now. You need to be getting into that center of your home. If you're watching us right now in Greensboro, this is closing in on us right now. You know, south towards places like Ritchie's in here, Highway 25 south. I mentioned the New Bern community, their Sunshine area, Sunshine and New Bern. This is tracking right now very close to you. This is going to move between Greensboro, New Bern, tracking right along Highway 14, and then moving into the far northern part of Perry County. We actually have a live view from Centerville. I was checking out a few moments ago. That heavier rain starting to pick up there. If this continues on that track, it may end up crossing out of Perry County and actually moving into Bibb County. There's Centerville right there. We have a camera that's right there on the E911 tower that's in downtown Centerville looking back to the south and west direction. So we'll have a direct view of this as that storm tracks further north and east. I know there's a lot of rain out there tonight. A lot of this wet weather has been very impactful further north. We're seeing some flooding happening around the city of Tuscaloosa, getting some reports there around Hale, Keller, and then the eastern part of Tuscaloosa County. At this point, no active warnings for Birmingham in the downtown area or Shelby County. I know we've had some rain starting to move in, some intense lightning happening around the city of Birmingham. But at this point, the area of concern, we could have a tornado here right now over Hale County around New Bern. Also the Greensboro area moving to the north and east. This is going to be tracking towards Rosemary, Hogglesville area, and Brush Creek. That tornado warning time, actually, these are the first alert times for you. Mentioned Kerbville around 9:05, Brush Creek 9:06. There's 9:11 for Ironville and the Water Oak community around 9:11, moving north-northeast at 49 miles per hour. If we back this view out a little bit, you can see Greensboro to the north. So this is going to move in southern part of Greensboro. That's the couplet there showing up along Highway 25. That is right there almost on top of the New Bern area, tracking to the north. Just checking in here with the some of the reports we have coming in this evening, and also Jill Gilardi, meteorologist Lauren Linehan also monitoring here with us in the First Alert Weather Center. Several warnings today, a lot of these across Mississippi. We've seen this is actually the second tornado warning in our DMA. We had one over Sumter County earlier that was in the Meridian coverage area, but we did have Tuscaloosa County, and now this one for Hale County.
This has been a WBRC Fox 6 weather First Alert.
So again, we're going to stay with you right here on WBRC for an active tornado warning that is in effect for our area. This is for Hale County. So this is far southwest. This is for New Bern, Melville. I know we had some of that active weather earlier, and we had some damage reported there around the Melville area. This is staying south of you. This is now about to cross right around New Bern, Highway 61. Okay, if you're watching me here on Highway 61, that's where this is crossing. There's Rosemary and Highway 61, and still over, pretty much over Hale County. The actual warning polygon, you can see it moves into Perry County there, but it looks like the primary warning right now, what we're seeing is over into Hale County. This is radar indicated, so I'm seeing here from the National Weather Service, this is a radar indicated tornado for Hale, Perry counties, and severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado located near New Bern or about 8 miles south of Greensboro. So that's exactly what we're on top of right now, moving northeast at about 55 miles per hour. That's the storm of the moment. You can see if that holds its track, that's going to put that into Perry County. Places like Heiberger, their State Highway 5 would be impacted, giving you that first alert. Also, southern Bibb County. Let's watch this. We have no active warning right now for Bibb County, but as this continues tracking to the north and east, we're not seeing spotter confirmation, but we are seeing right now radar data that's very supportive of a possible tornado there moving to the north and east direction. Let's see here if we have the radar controls. And what I want to do is actually take some of this off the screen here. I want to grab the controls, Jill, and zoom in to this, and just to show some areas, familiarize you with some of these locations here. That's Highway 25 back in here. Tornado would be embedded in just a lot of rain right now around New Bern. And look at the lightning. You know, that's one thing that stands out when you see a storm like this and you see that lightning frequency really picking up. The area of greatest concern right there, if you follow that along, you can see that's going to take this towards Kerbville, right there across northern Bibb County, the way that is moving to the north and east. See if we can clear some of this off. I'll take the lightning off, but you can see there once again, there's Marion. We do have another cell that's trying to develop out ahead of this. Not concerned about this if you are experiencing the heavy rain right now in Perry County. Biggest concern is south of Greensboro. We take a look at this, and years ago I remember tracking a tornado through this part of Hale County, and actually what ended up happening was a EF0. It touched down just south of Greensboro, right in this very same area, but it didn't last long. It was like a couple of scans. This particular one, it's still showing up quite apparent there when you see the shear indicator. Actually, you'll see right here, if we kind of filter out the data, we can look at the tornadic data in here, and that's showing the rotation tracker, showing some weak circulation right now based on what we're seeing. Well, actually, we're getting a little bit closer. There you go. You can see right in there some indications that we do have some strong rotation with this, and that is about to cross. I mentioned Highway 61. This is it right in here. This is near New Bern, and you can see there's Marion Road. If you're watching me here around Marion Road, giving you that first alert, there is that possible tornado about to cross Highway 61, and it is tracking quickly there at 55 miles per hour off to the north and east direction. Again, as we track this, let's clear this off the screen here. I want to back the view out once again, and the way this is moving, staying south again of Greensboro. I know we're in that polygon, but it looks like the strongest rotation signature here. But with this being so far from the radar side, I like to play it safe. Anywhere south of Greensboro, want you in that safe place until this passes on by. Looking at the radar again as we go back to this, a lot of red in here. The actual radar scans don't look quite as impressive as what I was seeing earlier in Tuscaloosa. It's been kind of hit or miss with these warnings so far. These warnings have been rather isolated so far tonight. We haven't seen numerous warnings at once. They've been rather random and chaotic tonight with respect to how these storms have behaved. We haven't seen the continuous warnings, but things have kind of flared up at times, and we've been watching these areas to the south. These storms have been borderline all night long, showing some broad rotation, but then some of these have kind of went to that next level, just like this one here. Actually, let's check out the view quickly. We'll go. Let's see if we have the Centerville camera loaded up here. So we don't have the Centerville camera on this one. Jill, I'll let you try to pull that up for us over there, and we'll check out that view, because the way this is moving, we'll have a good vantage point and see what the lightning frequency is like as that moves off to the north and east. So there's a look now, and you can see the lightning. Again, this is live. This is from the 911 tower there in downtown. That's the town square right there in Centerville, and we're looking back to the south. That's a correctional facility that you see back there in the distance, but we're watching that storm, and you see the lightning starting to pick up. Now, again, we're not under a tornado warning here in Bibb County. That warning is to the south of us in northern Perry County, but just south of Brent. That storm it's getting closer. So if we do see that storm still hold its strength as it moves north, we're seeing enough indications with some of that broad rotation there as it moves a little bit closer to Bibb County. If we do see that warning extended, that's going to be moving towards Centerville here, and especially towards the southern part of the county. It's actually moving back in that general direction there. We'll go back over to radar, and we'll continue to check in on those live views from our First Alert Sky Vision. What we're seeing here, stronger thunderstorms to the south. I will say to the north, if you're in Tuscaloosa, the severe weather risk has ended. The risk for severe storms, where all this rain's been falling to the north, it's a lot cooler. Birmingham, we're about to deal with some of that heavy rain, so the next hour or two is going to be critical around the city of Birmingham, Hoover, Bessemer, and a lot of these flood-prone areas here across Jefferson County. We're going to have to watch closely as this heavier rain moves moves in for some flash flooding that could develop quickly here. So let's keep a watch on some of this heavier rain moving to the north. Jill standing by. Jill, I believe you have a report for us to pass along.
Yes, it's in regards to this storm because we had what was the reported circulation around the New Bern area. We're seeing now that there was potential damage to a home and a car reported by Hale County EMA, and this was on Highway 61 near New Bern. So again, this storm has produced some wind damage. We don't know if it was from a tornado, but certainly we have a tornado warning. And again, we're watching that same storm as it moves off to the northeast. So we have damage reports coming in from a home and a car in the New Bern area. And again, this storm is moving off to the northeast, a little bit far away from the radar, but certainly we have seen some rotation with that, so we have to watch it very closely. Could have produced briefly a tornado. These storms tend to be brief at times and then, go through cycles or maybe not cycle back again. But certainly we are watching this one in particular that is going to be heading into Perry County here soon. So again, in the New Bern area, we're watching this as it goes through Perry County. We'll be watching for a possible spin-up tornado. Again, the radar indicated at this point in time, but again, we did get that damage report in, and this was by the EMA. So again, folks are watching this real close. This is the only storm we have that's tornado warned at this point in time. The other threat is flash flooding. We have roads closed in parts of Tuscaloosa. I'll be talking about that at 9 o'clock as well. McFarland Boulevard by University, that road is closed off because flood water is running across the road. So a very dangerous setup for tonight when you get flooding, flash flooding. It's hard to see anyways, but then you add in the darkness and it's going to be really complicated to tell whether or not, you have some flooded roadways. So those flood prone areas, avoid. You approach a roadway, don't even attempt to cross it if it is flooded. So again, we're watching this tornado threat possibility. And Wes, again, this is starting to move into Perry County right now. Here's an updated track for you. Certainly could have produced a brief tornado. Wes?
All right, Jill, and that's right there around New Bern in the Sunshine community. County Road 48, if you're watching me around County Road 48, Highway 14 out of Marion, between Marion and Greensboro, anywhere along Highway 14, I want you in that safe place. You do not want to be in a mobile home in a situation like this. You need to be in a site-built structure, a safe spot. You're safer outside of that mobile home as this storm approaches. You don't want to try to hop in the vehicle now, try to outrun this thing. A vehicle is not a safe place. And if you are listening to us on the radio, you're traveling between Marion, Centerville, over towards Greensboro, if you can stop at the nearest convenience store and just stay away from windows. Let's wait on this thing to pass by. It is moving to the north and east fairly quickly, and hopefully it does weaken. But we are getting some reports now. These storms to the south, this area is a bit more unstable, certainly to the south. It's more humid, muggy, and all the models have been showing all that instability really digging in to the southern part of Alabama through the next 12 hours here through tonight, and that's one of the reasons why we're still seeing these storms really packing a punch here to the south. It hasn't been raining quite as steady as what we've been seeing to the north. I mean, we had places in Marion County, it went from 70s to 60s today, Pickens County, places like that. So a big drop to the north, and that severe risk has ended. But at this point, I will tell you, if you're in Uniontown, if you're watching me around Fonsdale, I mentioned the Sunshine community a few moments ago, and even New Bern, the worst of this has passed north. It looks like that polygon has now moved mostly into Perry County. This is the warning polygon. Bibb County's to the north of here. We're not in a warning at this point. It is northern Perry County. Marion, downtown Marion, this is going to pass just north of you. Looks like this is going to track around Heiberger and the Elyards community. Okay, if you're watching me around Elyards, you are going to be in the path of this. Here's a look at some first alert times. Let's go through a few of these. Brush Creek, we mentioned 907. Hogglesville, let's bring that back up. We just got an update. Hogglesville 910, Water Oak around 911, and the Pondville area. Again, Pondville, we're not under a tornado warning here in Bibb County, but that storm itself will be moving very close to you at 9:16. And I believe Jill has another report to pass along. Jill, what are you seeing right now?
Yeah, the other area that we're going to be watching, Wes, while you're tracking in Hale County into Perry, this area right by West Blockton, starting to see some circulation, some convergence. So it will be another little area to keep a watch on. Again, we have two areas that a little bit suspicious. Of course, the one down into Hale County had stronger rotation and prompted the tornado warning. We'll just watch this one, Wes. I wanted to point out across the northern Bibb County.
Okay, watching that in northern Bibb County. We certainly don't want to leave a storm unattended here. Jill, meteorologist Lauren Linehan, we're watching all all these storms that are happening around the area. The one right now we're most concerned about, this tornado warning now moving in northern Perry County. Now, Perry County is actually in the Montgomery DMA. However, this warning still includes part of Hale County, which is right there in the WBRC Fox 6 coverage area. So we're going to stay on this. A lot of folks here I know watching us, streaming coverage on the First Alert Weather app as we track this. We're watching Centerville. Stand by here if you're in Brent and Centerville. Let's see what happens with this as this moves on to the north and east. Hopefully it continues to weaken, but we're giving you that first alert. And as Jill noted, there's still some areas in here. Let me just show you this. We'll bring in, I want to bring in some of the velocity data and just show you exactly what's going on. If you look in here, you can see there's several areas, and yeah, I see exactly what Jill's talking about. What you're seeing is the winds that are moving away from the radar and towards the radar site, and right here around West Blockton, that's an area where we got a little bit of convergence. We have a cell that may be trying to spin. Let's keep an eye on that. That's that would be just south of Lakeview, the Tanny Hill area. Caffey Junction, Woodstock's right in there. So let's keep a watch on this. The new UAB Medical West construction's happening out here around McCalla. It's going to be very close to that in Eastern Valley Road. One little suspicious area we need to keep an eye on that's traveling. So you got tracking to the northeast. You've got that one spot further south. You can see in here you have some areas where you have, just some broad rotation happening, and this one has weakened quite a bit. It looks like that rotation has really broadened as that's now moving into Marion County. You can see a couple of areas there, but been seeing a lot of that with these storms as they move to the north and east. But this one right here, let's go in a little bit closer, take a look at this, and you can see one thing for certain, we're getting some strong winds in here. Let me try to go in and place some of the winds. Just looking at some of the... Okay, so yeah, we're getting some 45 plus mile per hour winds there, Jill, moving through parts of Bibb County. So yeah, we're getting some gusty winds. That's what you're looking at there with that, likely some strong straight line winds now moving towards the Seymour area, pushing past West Blockton. That tornado warning just canceled. So the National Weather Service, the one that we're watching to the south, that tornado warning has been canceled. It is 9:02. It's news time here on WBRC, so we're going to go ahead here for a moment, kind of reset the scene on what's happening across the area and stay with you. But we have a lot of live reports coming up, including Jill is about to show us where some of this flooding's happening. We have some camera views and some roads that are now almost impassable over parts of Tuscaloosa County. We're going to show you that here coming up in a few moments. But let's get back to a live look one more time. Since that warning has been canceled, no active severe thunderstorm warnings that we see in effect across our area. These are flash flood warnings for Tuscaloosa County, flash flooding all the way back into Greene County. So another tornado warning, had some reports around New Bern, but since then that a system has really lessened up. Centerville, we're getting the heavy rain right now. Let's watch out here around the Centerville area for the possibility of some flooding, and now some of that heavier rain. Here it comes to starting to work into parts of Birmingham, getting some rain in East Alabama. The tornado watch has been trimmed away for some of the counties to the north and west. Not too confident we'll see that expanded into East Alabama. The air is a bit more stable across the eastern part of the state. That rain is going to also help out that situation there. But we do need to watch to the far south, especially southern Talladega County, Chilton, Coosa counties. Those are locations where it's still a bit muggier. There's a bit more instability. If we do see a warning, we'll need to watch storms that try to materialize in that part of our coverage area. But we have much more to come right here. Stay with us. Lots of updates ahead on WBRC Fox 6 News.
Live and on your side, WBRC Fox 6 News starts with First Alert Weather.
It's a First Alert Weather Day here in central Alabama, but we want to show you this tornado video from New Orleans quickly. This tornado crossing through the city's lower 9th Ward. The city's emergency manager telling us thousands are without power tonight. They're still assessing the damage there, though, and we're going to keep you updated on that.
Meanwhile, we continue to track the storm system, as you've seen here all evening, that prompted us to declare today a First Alert Weather Day.
Here's our chief meteorologist, Wes Wyatt, with the latest. Wes.
Hey, and right now we have a live look from Centerville. That rain really coming down, some strong strong storms now moving through Bibb County, and I got to give a big shout out to the mayor there, Mike Oakley and team in Centerville. They actually worked to get the camera reestablished. Lightning took out the camera this past Friday, and we do have that live view tonight. This is very active weather happening out there tonight. A lot of lightning, some thunder, and we have a new tornado warning that has just been issued. Let's get back over to radar. So that is that same storm. You can see there that's that area across northern Bibb County that we were talking about a few moments ago that Jill was noting, where we had a little bit of rotation. This warning includes parts of Shelby County. Shelby County, we're now included in a tornado warning for Shelby County. That does include Pelham and Alabaster for a tornado warning. Right now, that storm has crossed Highway 5, and so the way it's moving here, we're talking very close to Tannehill. Let's get in really, really close. Looks like this is near West Blockton. The Cahaba wildlife area is here just outside of West Blockton. It looks like from there and north towards McCully. This would be north of 6 Mile, north of Highway 25, basically between 6 Mile and Gray Hill. The way this is moving, that is going to take this towards the Gurney area. If you're watching me around Marvel, I want you getting in that safe place. If you're watching me around Maylene, there's Alabaster, there's Glen Forest, and Alabaster community, we are included here. The city of Alabaster and Pelham, we need to be getting to that safe place. There's Oak Mountain State Park. The way this is tracking, let's see, here's Hoover in here. Hoover is just north of that polygon. Let's check out the velocity, because the velocity scans had increased here on this as this storm. Yeah, this is looking more impressive here with this. You can see that rotation really starting to tighten up now with this as this crosses now from Bibb County into Shelby County, the Glen Carbon area. Let's get in for a very close view on this. If you're watching me now in Shelby County, we're under a tornado warning. That warning in effect until 9:45. That's including Booth Ford. There's Gurney Junction. I mentioned a few moments ago. This is going to be tracking south of the McCalla exit, and looks like Highway 13, okay? Highway 13. This is moving in your direction. We're giving you that first alert around River Road. There's Booth Ford, River Road here in Shelby County. That is moving towards Highway 13, tracking north towards Gray Hill Road. If you're watching me around Gray Hill Road, Highway 13, and looking at Bluff Ridge Road, Summit Farm, the Smithson area, there's Greenwood and Hilltop. It looks like this may try to make more of a sharper turn to the north, but it is really spinning up here right now. We could have a storm producing a tornado at this moment here across far northern Bibb County. There's Tannehill State Park. So Tannehill, this is just south of you. We're seeing this rotation starting to tighten up south of Gray Hill. That's going to put this close to Turner, Glen Carbon, and the Anita area. If you're watching me in Shelby County right now, get to that safe place. Get away from windows at this point. Interior room, pillows, blankets, a mattress, something if you have to throw that mattress over the top of you to offer some extra protection, do so at this point. This thing is just tightening up. Notice right there, you can actually see the spin in the radar data. That red is the away, the green towards the radar, and you can just see the curl that's happening here as we look at this on the radar data. Let's go back over to the tornado detection. I want to look at the shear rate on this, and there it is right there. We're seeing a strong indication. And Jill, stand by on the debris detection here. We're watching right now. It looks like this thing could be producing some damage right now around Bishop Ridge. You see right here, Bishop Ridge Road, also Gray Hill, and this is northern Bibb County. There's Gray Hill Road here to the north. So if you live along Gray Hill Road, Bishop Road, and areas around Highway 13, this is the entire quadrant here where this is crossing. We're zoomed in really tight across northern Bibb County and into Shelby County. Now, Alabaster, Pelham, we're included in this warning, but this is where the tornado's happening at this point. This is what we're looking at. You have some time here to get to that safe place, and you can see the indications. Want to try to label some of the winds on here. Let's see, we're looking at some of the, let's go to the triple threat, and okay, so you look at the shear rate on this. You can see in the yellow that represents extreme rotation that's showing up. The spin is certainly there. We've seen a lot of that with these storms so far. You've seen even some weak rotation in some spots with a lot of these storms. It's been rather brief. It's almost been kind of like a tropical setup out there today. And this evening with some of these warnings, they've been very short-lived in many cases. These are all flood warnings that you see back across parts of Tuscaloosa County. But as we track this at at this point, looks like Bessemer, the way this is moving, this may actually try to build a bit further north. Don't be surprised if we do see, some of our data putting a track on this still suggests this may try to turn a bit further north. So let's watch this here around Gray Hill and the Boothton area as this storm continues to track north at, look at that, 52 miles per hour. So it is moving rather quickly. So we're keeping an eye on this storm right here. Jill, I want to let you jump in. I know you're also tracking this with us here. Looks like that storm at this point right now, Shelby County, Brantleyville, tornado warning, looks like one of the stronger signatures that we've seen so far tonight.
Yeah, it certainly is, Wes. This is ramping up very, very rapidly, okay? So I really want folks to take this seriously because, again, we're seeing signs on radar, velocity, everything coming together that we probably have a tornado in the process of developing or may have already developed. Really tight circulation. It is about to cross into Shelby County near Cahaba River Park, okay? So you need to be in your safe place. If you are under this tornado warning, be in your safe place, but especially if you're watching us in Turner, Highway 13. This is making a beeline directly northeast, and it's moving at a fast clip, 55 miles per hour. So that means you don't have a lot of time to react. So I'm going to go back 30 minutes. We're going to show you again how it's been moving, so you can kind of have an idea of where it is going to be going next. So again, we've got Bamford, Mossboro, Pelham, Chandler South. Okay, that would be your zone where you'd have the greatest chance of this maybe making its way across your area. I do want to do a storm track, and this is going to be a real specific. It's not going to include the southern part of the county because we really think right now that this is going to be tracking maybe on the northern side of this warned area. Again, it's moving so fast I have to stretch this out as much as I can here. So this gives you the time frame. I'll talk this out to you if you're in your safe place and you're away from the TV and you're just listening right now. Again, a 9:23. If you're watching us in Helena, you need to be in your safe place. So get there right now. Make sure your helmets are on and you're in an interior room if you don't have a basement with as many walls around you as possible. Indian Springs Village, you're going to be impacted by this potential tornado. This is going to be at 9:31. Veterans Park, 9:34. Inverness Corners, 9:37. And Inverness Plaza, 9:37. Again, it's really that taking that northeast turn, and that would put the circulation more so in line towards Helena, and that area is Shelby County. I do think for those of you watching, still be mindful you're under that tornado warning a little bit farther south, but if you're watching in Alabaster, it's too close for comfort. You got to get in your safe place too. Brantleyville, I want you in your safe place. I have friends that are near the Maylene area. I think it might pass just north of you, might pass north of Elliotsville, but this is going to be cutting across, let's see, Lindsay's Crossing. We've got Colmont, Fox Haven. You would be next in line here. There you can see it. Really tight circulation there, Wes, showing up still. And as we go to the shear rate, I mean, this is very, very impressive. Also could have some straight line wind damage as well. I mean, look at that outflow. But again, we are seeing what is likely a possible tornado. It's actually just been confirmed. Let's go to this right here is your debris. We have it right now. It's been detected, Wes. This is a tornado on the ground, and this is just over the county line into Shelby County, River Road. Tornado on the ground for you. And this is, again, as we mentioned, heading off to the northeast. So it's going to be riding right along Highway 13, headed towards, say, Turner. If you're watching us near Taylor Way into Shelby County, please be in your safe spot. Turner, Lindsay's Crossings. Again, this is all moving up to you. We have a confirmed tornado on the ground. We have debris being lofted, detected by the radar. And so this tornado, again, is moving off to the northeast at about 50-55 miles per hour. So, again, that is a tornado you're looking at right there, that big bright spot. That's where we have the confirmed tornado. Again, some stronger winds extending outward from it. And again, we have that tight circulation west. This tornado is on the ground and headed northeast.
All right, so we got basically it's like a virtual spotter. We've got a debris signature that's been detected with this. Very strong indications right now of a tornado. You can see the shear is just off the chart with this thing as we look at it from Birmingham. Let's go do velocity. We can scan into this thing and we can look at the tornadic area, which would be right here. You can see that spin that's showing up, and we're definitely going to have some strong winds in here. Let's get in really really close. There's Pelham, Alabaster. The Shelby Medical Center is located in here as well. If you're watching me around Shelby Medical Center, let's go in really close. There's Colmont. So Colmont Road, okay? If you're watching me around Colmont Road, we're also looking at places like there's Highway 17, Fox Haven, Dunaway Farms, just monitoring the communication coming in here from the National Weather Service. But anywhere pretty much from Creekview Elementary School, I mentioned Colmont Road, Creekview Elementary Schools and areas to the south. Also Thompson High School. If you're in the Thompson High School area, you're in the path of this as well. I'm just naming off all these areas here that are in the path of what could be a tornado producing damage right now. Highway 13, you see it right here. There's that rotation, real evident here as we look at the velocity data, looking at this wall of strong wind gusts now moving into Shelby County. Tornado warning through 9:45. We're going to stay right here with you, giving you that first alert. Pelham, looking at the northern end of this polygon. If this does hold together, it's going to push northward towards Indian Springs. Of course, there's Interstate 65, Highway 31. There's Oak Mountain State Park. So the amphitheater is located right here. Let me just let me bring up the telestration tool just to show you. There's the amphitheater. The Shelby Medical Center is located right here, and then also the the Alabaster exit's located right here. Thompson High School down in here. So looking at the view and the way this is moving, you can kind of see some landmarks there, some areas, just kind of familiarize you where this tornado is with respect to Pelham and Alabaster. This is it, right in this area. That is where we're seeing the strong indication of a tornado. We're getting quite a bit of lightning, some thunder here, Jill, right now on Red Mountain. That heavier rain actually starting to pick up here in the Birmingham area at the moment. So we're getting a lot of wet weather. Could end up with some flooding issues. That's actually the only active warning that we have at the moment. Hopefully, this will continue to kind of thin out or become more linear, and that's what we look for in something like this. We don't like to see the what we call the gate-to-gate shear, the red to green ratios with this. Hopefully, this will start to improve. But on radar, and you look at this, and it's embedded in so much rainfall. It's been a while since we've seen a situation where we had a lot of rain out there. We had some of these embedded storms, but that is a nasty line right now moving through Pelham and towards Pelham and Alabaster. Hopefully it will weaken. I will tell you, this has not been the kind of day where we've had long track supercell storms. We've had what we call QLCS type storms, quasi-linear convective system. That's what this is. Along this line, we've had storms that are spinning up. They're producing some warnings, and then the warnings don't last long. So these are not the kind of situations here. And there we go. We just took another strike here on the mountain. So you may see, if you do see the screen briefly flicker, we are taking quite a few cloud-to-ground CGs, lightning strikes here on the mountain at this point here at WBRC Fox 6. That heavier rain starting to move in. And I know for a lot of you out there, you're probably dealing with the heavy rain and some loud thunder. These storms are moving through. And just to let you know, the only warning that we have at this point, it's this one now, and it is a significant warning that we have across Shelby County. We're getting indications, as Jill noted a few moments ago, and I want to go to, real quickly, Jill, we're about to come to you. I want to show this debris detection. We call this CC. This is correlation coefficient. We go in here, we take a close look at this. We look for signs of debris or what targets don't necessarily fit in with all the rain. And when you look at this right now, I don't necessarily see in the latest scan, we don't see a significant debris signature. So that is a good sign, although earlier we did see a little bit of debris as this made its way into Shelby County. So right now at this point, it's tough to say we still have a tornado on the ground producing damage based off of some of this radar data, but there is, again, a lot of rain out here. So as far as even spotting what's going on, it's going to be tough to determine whether we have a tornado on the ground at this point. But areas in the path of this, I mentioned Colmont Road, Helena, Cahaba Valley Estates. If you're watching me anywhere south of Eastern Valley Road, you need to be in that safe place. And just south of Tannehill State Park, I want you in that safe place. We'll let you know once this warning is canceled. And actually, it looks like Bibb County is now out of that warning. It is totally a Shelby County tornado warning at the moment. And many counties have been trimmed away from the watch, actually. If you notice there, we have counties to the north and west. Jill, some areas to the north, it's a little bit cooler, but we're still watching to the south. And this is that one area that we've been watching here over northern Bibb County. We had that one storm that moved out of Hale County. It weakened, and hopefully this one will continue to weaken here as it moves on to the east.
Yes, Wes, we have seen the debris lofted. So again, we are seeing that the tornado probably has lifted. So we're not detecting that debris any longer. But we still have some very strong winds with this, just because we're not seeing potentially a tornado right now on the ground causing damage. Doesn't mean one couldn't spin up. But we also have, it's a severe thunderstorm. So we can have 60-mile-per-hour winds, and our system is certainly tracking those strong winds. You can see towards Glen Carbon, Lindsay's Crossing. Again, this is all moving northeast. So again, if you're watching us, especially Colmont up through Pelham, even Alabaster, you could see some strong winds out of this, and you could have power interruptions. We just had lightning hit again at the station. So again, power problems definitely could be an issue. Again, we're watching this very, very closely because, again, we've seen what it has done in the past. It weakens and then it tightens back up again. And so again, we can't trust it. We have to keep a watch on it. So again, I want you to be in your safe spot. If you're watching us again and you're under that tornado warning by Oak Mountain in the Pelham area, anywhere along 65 down through Alabaster. So it continues to morph and take on different shapes. As you can see that maybe that once really strong and an extreme circulation when we had the tornado has maybe ceased a little bit, but we'll have to keep a watch on this because again, at any moment this could tighten up. But what we're seeing right now is some better news. I am not seeing that tight circulation we once saw. Might be breaking up a little bit. Still some strong winds. We still have the tornado warning in effect. And this is for Shelby County until 9:45, until the Weather Service decides to either cancel it or let it continue. So again, we're seeing the radar signature look a little bit better. I still want you to stay in your safe place right now. We will let you know when it's the all clear and you can get out of your safe place. But again, Shelby County, anywhere from Alabaster, Brantleyville, Mossboro, Pelham, you're under that tornado warning. So again, we're watching radar trends closely, seeing it looked better than it did. So we will hopefully see this trend continue, and hopefully we will see that tornado warning allowed to be expired or canceled earlier. Wes?
All right, Jill. And Jill, I'm going to let you operate the radar here. I want to back away and go over to the other radar source as we monitor this. Again, that storm now in Shelby County. Here's Pelham. I mentioned Shelby Medical Center, Thompson High School, Creekview Elementary Schools in here, Brantleyville, all these areas. If you live near those areas I just called out, want you in that safe spot. That would also include Oak Mountain Amphitheater and Oak Mountain State Park. Whether this warning's continued is still questionable. We have not, it would really surprise me with a lot of these warnings tonight. They've been kind of quick duration warnings. We see a brief spin up and then we see a possible tornado, and then all of a sudden the rotation weakens a little bit. That may be what's happening here, but there's still some curvature to this that really grabs my attention, especially the north end of this polygon here. That is going to be right there around County Road 13 and also Cherokee Beach, Roebuck Road. South Shades Crest Road is going to be a little north of here based on what we're seeing. There's Cherokee Beach, Helena. You are impacted. Colmont Road running in this direction right here. If you're watching me on Colmont Road, stay in that safe spot. We will let you know once this warning expires here across Colmont Road. There's Roebuck, Helena, Pelham, Oak Mountain State Park, and I mentioned the Shelby Medical Center here between Pelham, Alabaster. That is about where this thing's going to be crossing. Jill, do we have updated radar data in there? Let's make sure we have the, you may have to go to Columbus and then back to Birmingham. Just want to make sure we have the absolute latest scan. So there we go. We're getting some updates. Again, Jill's loading up some of the data. This is from Birmingham Shelby County Airport at the Birmingham National Weather Service. In fact, if you actually travel south on 65, you can see the big radar outside of the Shelby County Airport. That's to the south. So we have an incredible view of this right now as it tracks north. In fact, you can see the cone of silence to the south. That is where we're getting the scan here from Shelby County back into this storm.
Canceled now. So
there we go. So that tornado warning has been canceled. So some good news there. That thing was getting very, very close here into Pelham. But I'm going to tell you something. You look at this, the way this is lining up. Jill, you may want to pixel query some of these. What we're doing is bringing up one of our tools so you can just see the winds in here. Winds are going to pick up in these areas. We could have some gusts out there over 35 miles per hour. See that? Look, 61 mile per hour. So there's some areas in here we're going to have some very strong wind gusts with this line of storms. Just get ready here. Birmingham and Shelby County, we're getting some, we've had 2 or 3 lightning strikes here. You can tell it just sounds like a shotgun going off outside where the lightning's been striking our transmission tower. But we're going to have some cloud-to-ground lightning right now, a lot of noisemakers, some very heavy rain, even though that's moving into Birmingham. And if you're tuning in, checking in on this weather, because it's starting to really deteriorate across even northern Jefferson County, no active warnings right now. Gardendale, back towards Fairfield, Pleasant Grove, Inslee, back into downtown Birmingham. It's just a lot of rain. The one thing I want you to watch out for is if you do have to travel late tonight, you'll want to keep it right here. Jill coming up is going to give us an update on what's happening with some of these roadways, because we do have some flash flooding that is happening. I'm happy to report, you can see all the flood reports around Tuscaloosa and the downtown area. I'm happy to report that the rainfall rates have backed off, so hopefully we'll see some improvements there coming up, and then you can see that heavy rain back into Marion and Centerville. So I'm about to send it back over to Steve and Catherine right now, since that tornado warning has expired, because we have teams all over the place tonight. We've got some reports that are coming in across West Alabama, so right now we're efforting they're actually working on some of these reports, so we'll stand by here for just a few more minutes as we track this heavy rain moving across the area. Tornado watch has been trimmed away for parts of the area. Let me clear some of this off quickly so you can actually see the tornado watch at this point. And there we go. We've got Walker County, looks like Walker, Coleman, Winston, Marion, and Fayette counties trimmed away. Severe tornado threats over for us in Greene and Tuscaloosa County. Tornado threats over for us. This has moved out of Tuscaloosa County. We'll probably see Tuscaloosa County and even some more trimmed away here very soon as this continues on to the east direction.